You got to put your radio voice on, Jack.
I don't like.
Get a little bit deeper.
Please stop doing that. I don't like that at all. That is really unnerving me. Right, okay. I'll play that. I'll play the jingle and we'll go.
Sing a little bit of country.
This is Warriors Weekly. Christmas special.
Hello, welcome to a very special episode of Warriors Weekly. We're at the Clyde 1 studios. It's an 1872 Cup / Christmas special, and we've got some very special guests. Adam Ash is here as always, and in the festive jumpers over there we have the Horne brothers. Thanks very much for joining us, guys. Let It Snow, Game of Thrones, I like it. Where's yours one from, Pete?
I think this was a Top Man number from about 5 years ago.
No, I feel underdressed now. And in the corner there we have Dave Rennie as well. Dave, didn't want to wear your Christmas jumper?
Yeah, poorly informed by the guy running this tonight.
Let's start by looking back. Let's look back at Leon. Pete, you were the only one playing in it. Is that the worst conditions you've ever played in?
Yes, it was freezing. Really tough conditions. You know, it was difficult to catch the ball, never mind trying to think about what to do with it. So, no, you know, we started really well. We had a great first 20 when the boys probably didn't have hypothermia at that stage. And we kind of got progressively worse until finally the ref blew the whistle and called it off. But yeah, it was a job done in the end, I guess.
Hey, bro, what an impact, though, coming off the bench with a hit like that.
Yeah, well, Renz has been banging on about how my defensive dominant tackle percentage has been 0% for about 6 weeks in a row. So it was time, you know. I had to get out there and just jump out the line.
Oh, it was brilliant. It was good to see.
Thanks, mate.
Dave, did you have to, from your coach's box, did you have to kind of remove yourself a bit and empathise with those guys out there when maybe things weren't going exactly to plan, or did you have your same high standards and you were?
It was so cold, I actually went and got my gloves at half time. So they can win joy light, mate. It was freezing where we were standing. We were very exposed to the wind up there. To be honest, we didn't really have an appreciation for how bad it was. And when I got home, had looked at the replay, and it was horrific, really. So boys did a great job. We started well and played pretty well, maybe while we could feel our hands. And I still got the image of Callum Gibbons sitting in the bad boys' seat, shivering, chattering his teeth, and so on. So, you know, it was tough conditions.
George, what about you? Having travelled with the Sevens so much, you must have experienced kind of a different side of tough conditions. Like in Sydney, I remember once there was one tournament when, for different reasons, it was really difficult to play out there.
Yeah, it was probably as directly opposite as you get. I think it was about 40 degrees, and we played as bad as that week as the boys. I think found it at the weekend there. So yeah, we were all guys like Brycey and me from Alloa and Fife. We were struggling in the heat, and yeah, we pretty much shut down and got beat every game.
And then your first game over here was Connacht away, and do you remember the conditions that day?
Horrific, horizontal rain. I'm thinking, what have I got myself into here? This is summer, and obviously should be reasonable weather, but by all accounts, it's often like that in Connacht. So
I kicked the 3, remember, and it blew straight back.
through
the post. There.
Yeah, Horne had a penalty from 18 metres out, and it went back over his head.
We mentioned the Sevens briefly there. Something I want to start with is everyone here, bar myself, and I don't know about you, Dave, but has Sevens experience. I want to pick a Glasgow Warriors Sevens team. We've entered a few in Melrose in the past, but if we were to enter a Melrose Sevens team this year, I want the 4 of you to agree on a Glasgow Warriors Sevens squad.
Nico.
Gotta be Nico.
Yeah, Nico.
Carlin Isles, he's got to be in there as well, surely.
He doesn't play for us
He's not at the club, mate.
Oh, no, but no, I thought it was an old time. No. All right.
He actually never played for the club either, mate.
He played it here. Right, current then, let's go.
Let's go. So
You got to pack me down there at tight head.
you're going to go in at tight
Get
head.
me at tight head, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Maybe I'll
Confident.
Stick your selling.
Yeah, nice.
We were speaking earlier. You said Nick Grigg would be a good hooker out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Squigs.
Little man, looks like a hooker, and obviously very quick, powerful. So he'd be good.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
He'd probably play D at prop.
I don't know if he's got the engine for it though.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
explosive though. 2-minute guy off the bench.
Yeah, you could bring him off the bench. Him and Fuzzy. They do
Yeah,
us a good
Fuzzy
couple
as
of minutes
well.
at the end. Fuzzy actually got Scotland Sevens Player of the Year in his first year as a pro rugby player.
Yeah.
Yeah, before his lung burst, and he's only got one left now. But I'm trying. You play Nico. You'd probably play 9. Nico on the wing. We need someone in there at 10 that could just, pull the strings. Good passer. Just knows the
I
game.
wonder who that would be.
Trying to think.
Maybe Hayster.
Someone who's really
Yeah.
fit,
Hayster, Brandon's.
wearing a ridiculous Christmas jersey.
That's a good squad. That'll go all right, wouldn't it?
Aye.
Yeah, staff at prop as well, probably. He'd be another good one. He's fit as a fiddle.
Mm.
Yeah.
Pete, congratulations, a new father. How's
Thanks.
everything back home? Looking forward to Chris, I'd imagine, with the new family.
Yeah, no, it's great. We're doing Christmas at home this year for the first time, and it's going to be really special with little Marnie. She just arrived a couple of weeks ago. Her and Kirsten, my wife, are doing great. So, it's been an awesome couple of weeks. Ren's gave me a few days off, so I spent a bit of time with the little one, and then back to it. But it's been awesome. It's been good to get home from training, and looking forward to seeing how we face.
Hey, and George, welcome to the Uncle Club. How are you finding it?
Yeah, good. I've been trying to hold myself back from visiting too much. I don't want to be
A
too
creep.
keen. Yeah,
I think
Don't
I
wanna
come
be-
under that bracket.
chapping on the door. So no, that is great to have her. It's obviously she's now the golden child. I'm no longer the youngest, which is a shame. But yeah, now she's beautiful.
You want to make the most of it, mate. Get her in and see her as much as you can, because she'll be bigger than you in about 3 weeks.
She's getting there. Yeah.
Are you changing nappies, George? You on that duty yet, or?
No, not yet. I don't know if I'm gonna be trusted with stuff like that. I think.
A couple of months we'll need that.
Oh really?
You don't
Oh,
go there
well.
as an uncle. I've still never done it.
No, I'm not sure.
Nah, I'll get the lessons out.
I'll just do all the fun stuff
It'll
and
be fine.
pass them back for.
It's funny actually. Mum normally loves coming to watch us play, but the weekend there, I don't know, the weather maybe helped, but she was the first one to volunteer and be like, you know what, I'm not going to bother this week. And it was the same, regardless if we're playing or not this weekend against Edinburgh. She was like, is it all right if I just maybe stay in Glasgow for this one as well? And so I think that's probably the last time she comes to watch a live game actually.
New priorities.
Yeah.
But I want to know if, as someone who's been so invested in a professional sporting career for so long, you've now got this new thing which is the most important thing in your life. Has it changed your perspective at all? You've played a couple of games since. Have you noticed a change early on in terms of just your mindset when it comes to everything, I'd imagine?
Probably getting a little bit better at just switching off. When you go home, you kind of get your head away from your head out of the books and stop worrying about rugby, because you've got your hands full. And I think everyone says that. Ren's actually said to me the day I came back in, he was like, it's mad, you've just got this little thing that you've just got this unconditional love for out of nowhere, and it kind of just consumes your whole heart and your whole life. And it's so true. It's obviously rugby's now kind of not the most important thing in my life, and it's been great. I think who knows, I've not played too much, but fingers crossed it will reflect well in my performances in the future.
Dave, what point in your life were you when your firstborn showed up? Were you still playing? Were you?
Yep, yeah, I was still playing. He was a good boy. He arrived on a Sunday afternoon, and we were playing a lot of footy on Sundays in those days, and played 2 Sundays in a row. We played a Saturday and then 2 Sundays again, and he turned up in the middle. So he's been a fantastic kid ever since. So, as I mentioned to Horne, it's a pretty special experience, and I reckon maybe as rugby players and that sort of thing, we can become self-absorbed with what we're doing, and you have a child and your whole life and your mindset changes, so it's pretty special.
Not many people, well, some of our listeners might not know about your playing career. Can you give us kind of a brief overview? What kind of player were you? You were 12, 13?
Yeah, 12 then. It'll be very brief, by the way. I played a lot of midfield. I played a lot of 10, 15 as a young fella, and I finished playing when I was about 27. Had a few injuries, and I had a young family at that stage and had to think seriously about a career, and I was teaching and that sort of thing. So, obviously a bit different nowadays. You can make a living out of footy, but I loved it, and I got involved coaching early because I sort of out of a game playing early.
Did you, back when you were playing, did you have any nicknames as a player? I'm just thinking like the calf size.
There was mentions about the biggest calves in the world rugby, but
Still true.
We measured your calves recently to see if they were bigger than my thighs. And they are.
Definitely, yeah.
Bigger than your waist, Jack.
there used to be some muscle in there a few years back. I'm not convinced anymore.
Pete, if selected this weekend, it's going to be a big old game for you. 150 caps. Do you have a highlight? Do you have one game in those 150, 149 so far that really stands out for you?
Obviously the final, it was pretty special. It was just kind of a combination of like loads of years of hard work, and yeah, that's the one that kind of sticks out in your mind. But you know, this season we've had that game. I wasn't playing, but I felt proud to be part of, you know, the club when the boys put out that performance against the Scarlets the other week. You know, that was really special. I think, you know, nobody outside of our club probably thought we were going to pull off that win, but just the desire, the work rate, everything, that was really special to be part of. So yeah, the final's definitely the main one, but fingers crossed there'll be plenty more to come.
I watched a documentary about the Burgess brothers. Have you seen it, about their time at the Rabbitohs? And Russell Crowe's the owner over there, and he speaks about brotherhood and how a club should be a brotherhood, and that he kind of built his club around an actual brotherhood in the Burgesses. We've got obviously you guys, and we've got the Fagesons. Dave, is that something that you buy into, that having actual brothers at the core of a club is something you can really build on and kind of build around?
Absolutely not. And the plan is to get rid of one of each of those guys to just have lots of individuals.
Thank you.
Wow.
Well, let's get into some Christmas chat. You guys have done your Secret Santa. I know who Ashley's got. We're not going to reveal, but are you happy with who you picked out the hat?
Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with mine.
Have you bought it already?
I have.
Yep. Also, yep.
And Dave, we didn't do one.
No, our manager's hopeless, isn't he? He's been focused on other things. He's still grizzling about how cold he was from Saturday, so I don't think anything's happening there.
What was Horne Christmas like growing up? Were you guys ever jealous of each other's gifts, or were you always pretty civilized?
Yeah, pretty civilized, I'd say.
Yeah, we were lucky.
Yeah.
Santa was good to us often, so yeah, we were lucky, I'd say.
We're mum and dad love Christmas, so we always had. There was quite a lot of kind of build up. It was always really exciting. We used to watch a lot of kind of cringy Christmas films and listen to the tunes all week. So it was always just it's kind of some of my fondest memories actually growing up were probably around Christmas. So
yeah, Dad was often quite a stressed bloke with work, and then it would come 2 weeks before and after Christmas, and he was just this big, I don't know, just this bundle of joy. He'd get all the lights out, the tree, all the decorations in the
It's
world.
hilarious.
You can
I'd
imagine.
got so many decorations. We had this massive big train that you lit up, and we put it on the roof. Bless him, would be up there with the ladders sticking it up and everything. Hey, it was we used to get those people that would drive up the street and take photos of the house because that's how. He went totally over the top, but it was awesome.
Yeah.
I never seen that side of Gary.
Aye.
What a legend he is as well, by the way. Shout out. I played Caledonia under 16s, and Gary was head coach.
Aye, good guys.
Some man, some coach. Still doing away, isn't he? Is he still at?
He's not
Yeah,
coaching
no,
anymore.
Not coaching.
Nah, he's just retired actually recently, so he's just been loving being able to golf and kind of come and watch us quite a bit.
Yeah, he's loving it.
Yeah.
Actually, what have you got on Christmas Day this year?
I'm going to go back to my mum and dad's house. I believe my brother, his partner, and the 2 young kids are coming around. I think Danielle, my brother's partner, her mum and dad are going to join us as well. So should just be a nice day in the house. Kids will be there, always lovely. And then I think in the evening I'll head round to Elisa's house. So yeah, nothing different for me. That's kind of what happens every year.
And Dave, yours is going to be much quieter this year than it was last year, I'd imagine.
Yeah, we had 27 turn up at home last year, which was cool. We call them the orphans, all the foreigners who didn't have family and that sort of thing. But a lot of them have been here a year now. They're all scattered this year. So
Think how big an oven you must have.
I know.
How big a kitchen. How big a house.
How big a house?
Just the 27 of it.
yeah, no, it was good.
Everyone had to bring a dish, didn't they?
Yeah, so we made it cultural. So obviously Nico bought a Fijian dish. It was like a
Is Nico all right in the kitchen?
well, it was a chicken chop suey, but he didn't bone the chicken.
Oh god.
So you're pulling bones out everywhere. It's
Wilson says he actually makes some good stuff. Nico, surprisingly, yeah.
yeah. Well, he obviously left it out that
Not
day.
the shop suey though.
But no, we had some great meals. A lot of the Tongan boys were there, and we had a lot of fantastic dishes, and far too much food. But we're all scattered this year, so get off a bit lighter, and so we're going to spend have a couple of beers at the Humphreys place the night before, and then we'll have a quiet day, a little bit of eating, and on Skype, catching up with all the family back at home.
What you had one winter Christmas. You're usually used to a summer Christmas back in New Zealand. Which do you prefer?
I mean, the great thing about New Zealand, obviously, it's barbecue. We have a barbecue in the morning. We have a lot of friends come around, and then the kids scatter to their girlfriend's place and that sort of thing. They come back, you play a bit of cricket, and then you swim, and then you eat and you drink, and it's pretty relaxing. So it wasn't quite a white Christmas last year, but we had plenty of snow around the place, either side of it, and there might be a bit this year, hopefully. But it's different. But no, we're really enjoying it here. So different experience.
So Pete, you're hosting this year, but I'd imagine with the baby, the pressure is going to be on George to bring the food and.
Yeah. George is actually pretty poor in the kitchen.
I'm baker.
You're a baker.
Yeah, I'm not a cook. I'm a baker.
Yeah, old Georgie Berry over there.
Yeah.
What's your go-to?
Top hats. So it's a marshmallow. You melt some chocolate, dip the marshmallow in
Don't
chocolate.
tell
and
people
then,
your secret
yeah,
recipe.
sorry, I can't say.
Sorry.
And then there's Smartie on top. Boom. That's it. Well, you look really impressed.
Sounds
and
complex.
truffles. I do truffles.
It makes a mean truffle.
Yeah.
Nice.
Apart from that, it won't be falling on me. It'll be Dad and Pete.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm in charge of the turkey, actually.
Yeah.
Well, I am hosting, so I'm in charge of most of the things, believe it or not. But no, I've got Fuzzy, actually, is an incredible cook, so he's given me a great recipe. Nigella Lawson, I'm going to brine it for like 4 days. I'm really excited, actually.
I want to know from, in the world of rugby, people that you've come across, people that you know, who is the one person that if you could invite anyone to spend the Christmas day at your house, who would it be and why? Dave, let's start with you.
Crikey, start with someone else. That's not an easy question, is it?
I would choose Nico because he'd bring so much joy. He's so energetic.
You wouldn't be able to relax, though,
I
would
know,
you?
that's the thing.
And chicken bones.
Chicken bones as well. I'll make sure I cook the food.
Wilson tells a good story about Nico in his house at Christmas.
He tells a brilliant story, which I won't ruin, but that is hilarious.
We'll save it for another podcast.
Yeah, I'd probably...
Would yours be Fuzzy?
I see Fuzzy every day, so I'd probably make the most of getting someone else. Maybe Kevin Bridges or... Yeah, probably Kevin Bridges.
He's not a rugby player.
Oh, right, it's got to be a rugby player, sorry.
I might play.
Yeah, he might play a bit.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Could do a job.
I'll come back to me.
Anyone?
Probably Welshie. Yeah, he'd
Welshie,
be
yeah,
good.
I like
He'd
a
be
good
good fun. Yeah, I'd have Welshie up.
Just for morale?
Yeah, for morale, he'd certainly tell you the food was good. He'd
Finish it.
yeah, and he's always got a good story to tell, and he's great, and he'd keep mum and dad and everyone entertained, so he'd be good.
I think Beyonce used to play a bit of footy, so I'd invite her around.
So we're recording on Monday. We'll be going out on Tuesday. But today we announced that Sam Johnson signed a new contract with the club. He's one of 7 announcements this week. We've got another one coming up tomorrow, which is today. George, you signed it earlier today. You must be delighted. Don't want to put words in your mouth, but please say you're delighted.
Yeah, absolutely delighted. Yeah, obviously it's my first club I've been at, and I've really enjoyed the last 2 years. It's been a great experience getting a shot in the team, and yeah, just massively looking forward to the next couple of years and the rest of this year.
Dave, I don't want to be awkward with George here, but you must be delighted as well. I always come to you in this situation when I'm about to announce someone. I say I need a quote off you. You always say that you're rapt.
Yeah.
And then fill in the blanks. So what's George's quote going to be?
RAPT. Yeah. Oh, look, obviously he's been great. I know when we were looking, I signed a year out, and when we were trying to get clarity around what the team might look like, and there was going to be a lot of changes, and George was pretty much entrenched in the 7 stuff. So I watched him play a lot of that footy and was interested to see how that would transpire into the 15s game. But look, he's been really impressive, isn't he? And I think one thing we do pretty well is we reward performance, and so George has played a lot of big games ahead of guys who are a little bit more experienced than him. So he's going well. We think he's got a big future, and his form's been fantastic. So hope that continues.
Big game against Edinburgh this week, George. What is there a different feel around the place with these derbies? Is it kind of like a European weekend, would you say?
Yeah, obviously it's a special week. It's like you say, it's a derby. It's an important time of the year, but I suppose it's trying to focus on ourselves and do a good job with probably not done ourselves justice. The last couple of years we've played Edinburgh. So yeah, it's just really trying to make sure we can perform and put in a good enough performance to win the game.
Actually, you said you've not played an awful lot of. It's just the way it's fallen. You haven't played an awful lot of 1872 Cups. Do you have any particular memories, though? Anything that stands out from an Edinburgh game?
I remember a game going back probably a couple of years ago. I remember it being really physical. It was at Murrayfield. We won that day. But yeah, I guess I've not had too much experience in the old 1872 games. But I remember watching from the stand last year and just hearing the collisions. And I was sitting up the top tier at Murrayfield as well. So it's certainly feisty rugby. And yeah, I guess I think everybody's looking forward to getting out there.
Pete, any games that stick in the memory against Edinburgh?
We had a good one year where Jacko scored an intercept late on and ran in. We won that relatively comfortably, so that was quite nice, because normally those games are really cagey. They're never very good games, to be honest, and that was one that we managed to exploit them a little bit more, get the ball going. We ran them around a little bit and scored some good tries, so that's probably one of the few that really stand out.
David, they're slightly more difficult games to coach because you're aware that with these guys spending so much time together in Scotland camp, they're going to know an awful lot more about each other. So do you have to kind of second guess what they're going to know, what they're not going to know, or do you just ignore all of that and just play the way you want to play?
Yeah, like I think because of history and the mates down the road type of thing, there's often too much focus put on them. And what's key for us is we want to perform really well. I think we've been really consistent over the last 10 or so weeks. And so we make sure we've got clarity, and then we can bring intensity, and if we can do that consistently, then we're going to go well on the day. So we know a lot about them, but key focus for us is going to be about ourselves this week.
Will messages be sent? Henry is obviously there now. You guys are very close to him, and there's a few boys in our camp who used to play for them. Does that happen? Does that not happen? Is it kind of radio silence before the game, or will you try and wind each other up? Is there any other underhand tactics?
With Henry, probably not. Not this week. Nah, it'll be in the game. It'll be quite funny, actually. It'll be quite bizarre. He's obviously been a big part of the club in the past, and the fact that he's been a wee turncoat and shifted allegiance will maybe have a little extra incentive to get in there in the game. But in terms of the lead up, we've both kind of got our hands full. He's recently had a little boy as well, so I can't see there being too much.
So with having the two brothers here, I thought I'd do a bit of research, find some stats about the two of you and find out how much you know about each other, and a little test against each other. Pete, who was George's Glasgow debut against?
I feel like it might have been Connacht at home, but did he play one before that? Was I playing? Nah. I can't remember. It must have been memorable. Nah, I can't remember.
George, can you remember Pete's debut? Do you know who that was against?
I think it was the same as me, Ospreys at home.
No.
No, so no.
Yeah, although Pump got my debut wrong as well on the Warriors list of the Roll of Honour. Pump actually
Is it
messed
wrong?
that up. Yeah.
What was yours?
Ulster away.
That's what I've got.
Oh, have you?
That's
Jack's
what I've
got it. Pump's got Munster.
Oh,
does
maybe
it?
you played well that day. I came
Yeah,
to watch
Ospreys.
it.
That was the first game match. Again, my debut wasn't very memorable either. I was rubbish. But yeah, Ospreys at home was all right.
They're very tight,
Yeah.
these two. Very tight.
Really close. Tries. How many tries does George have? How many tries does Pete have for
You had
Glasgow?
to bring that up. That was good of you. George has probably scored more in 2 years than I have in 10.
You are leading.
Oh, nice.
George is on 5 this year.
And I think he got
Anyone on more than that?
10 last year.
Nah, I'm 5 as well.
Matawalu's got more than that.
Yeah,
Are you not on 7?
Nah, Nico's on 7.
Oh, I thought you were on 7.
You've got 17 tries.
Nah,
guess.
Pete.
do I?
No.
I'm in the 20s, am I not?
Nah. Is he?
Bang on 20.
20.
Hang on, 20.
Well played.
Nice, thanks.
Nice.
And George?
I'm going to go 15. 14.
Nice, man.
15.
Spot
Yeah,
on.
15 you've scored.
15.
How many caps?
14
29
lollipops.
on
That's the next question. That's the next question. That's the next question.
All right.
Because you've got a handful of Scotland caps, but it'd be easier for Pete to narrow that down. So, Pete, I want you to tell me how many Glasgow caps George has, and George, I want you to tell me how many Scotland caps Pete has.
I think George got 32 caps for Glasgow.
No.
31? You told me today you had 32.
No, never.
You did?
Nah, 30. I think 30.
Oh, you've mugged me right off.
You've got
2 off. And Pete for Scotland?
37 or 38? 38.
34.
38.
38.
Nice.
Spot on, well done.
Yes.
Dave, how many Cook Island caps did you get?
Well, technically none, but I was home. I was home one time. I was home one time for Christmas, and the national side were playing a game against a touring side, and they wanted me to play, but it was too hot. And they asked me just to come down and maybe help out. So next thing I know, I'm running in midfield, and then I end up playing. But it wasn't even a test match. I don't know where that came from, but I played one game for the Cook Islands, but it's not necessarily a cap.
Well, before you all came here, there's another game I wanted to play, and it's something that you introduced me to, Dave. When you first came, we all sat around the table. I wasn't actually there, but you made me do it later on, and that you made everyone think of 3 statements, 2 truths and 1 lie, and then around the group we had to determine through conversation which was the 1 lie. So before we came, I asked you all to have a think. But Dave, if you could go first, if you make 3 statements, 2 truths, 1 lie, and then between I'm going to stand out, but these guys are going to have to pick which is the lie.
Okay. The first one, I'm a big Strictly fan. Obviously, been watching that series. Very impressive, and the reason is because I was a competitive ballroom dancer as a child back in New Zealand. Second one is that I was born in Rarotonga in a little village by the name of Titikavika, and at the age of 2, Mum was really keen for us to get educated in New Zealand, so we moved there. And the third one is my current salary is £12 million.
Right.
The first one's true because you see ballerinas and stuff like that. You've seen the size of their calves.
I was thinking that.
Is that what explains
So
it?
was the third because his house.
You going for number 2 as a lie?
Nah, I'm gonna say number 1's a lie. But
That hurts, mate. Yeah.
Well, number 3 is a lie.
well, no, it's easy. It's easy. It's easy. Surely, maybe not.
It
Dave,
has to be.
which one's a lie?
I actually wasn't born in Rarotonga.
That's why Hoggy's leaving.
George, did you manage to think of 3 things?
Yep. So the first time, or not the first time, but the first time I properly met Rudy Jackson was actually me spending Christmas Day at his house. The first time I hadn't spent Christmas Day at home. That's one fact. Another one is, you know, the old TV show Raven? It was like a obstacle course.
Classic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was on that back in the day, back in primary school.
I hope
On
that's true.
Raven. And the third one is when I was younger and I was growing, and you know what happens when you grow up. I developed a, for want of a better word, man boob on my right side. So I just had a little moob back in the day.
Just one.
So, just one. Didn't develop the second one. So
No,
it's
so it's
quite
good to see they've evened up.
Actually, I had to get it snipped away
You
because
get
I
a
was
cut?
so embarrassed.
Really?
Well, maybe if it's true.
Right, Pete, you'll probably have an insight into a couple of these, so I'll let these 2 discuss and see.
Sure.
You can ask questions. You can kind of delve into this and see if. So I'll start. George, tell us about Raven.
So yeah, so you get your wee.
Did you apply to go on it?
Yeah, you had to apply. So I applied. Well, Mum did it because I was quite young, but I was buzzing about going on.
How old were you?
I was 12 at the time. So yeah, it was the boy was Scottish as well, so that was. So yeah, you went on and you kind of, you know, the ghosts you see, you don't actually see them. That's obviously CGI. Well, no, you see some of them in the costumes and thing, and then you get through to the final. I got through, but the last course, the eliminator, too tough for me. Got knocked off. If you knock off, basically, if you touch it, it's like the floor is lava. If you touch the ground, and yeah, I didn't make it.
Rory Jackson, how old were you then?
How old was it then? That was when I was in London, so about 19 or 20.
Nah, you've definitely met him before then, surely.
I'd met him before, but I'd never I didn't know him at all.
I'm gonna go for. I've got to say one.
What's that one?
That's
The
fine.
Jacko.
The Jacko
Really?
one.
You
Because
think
I
that-
think I've heard you speak about Raven before. Someone has in the team.
Am I revealing this?
Are we consensus is one? That's not the first time you met Rory Jackson, or the first time you spent time with Rory Jackson?
Yeah, I'll go one because I could imagine one that moob or whatever it was.
Yeah, if you reveal.
So I've never been on Raven. Gutted.
Who is
Yeah.
it then?
Huh?
Has someone? I swear
Has
somebody.
someone been on it? Yeah, I don't know. I
Maybe.
would love to. I did love the show. It was a good show. But no, sadly never made it.
And why didn't you get that moob sorted?
I did get it sorted.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a tough time. I'm
Chunk,
surprised though.
That's what it was called.
Yeah, Chunk.
Chunk.
Got
You
called
gave it a
Chunk.
nickname.
Yeah, Cammy Fenton came up with that. So, yeah, I was good to mum and dad to help me get rid of that.
Okay, Pete, what are your three?
My three. I was a junior champion at Lawn Bowls. The second one was I made it through the auditions at X Factor. And the third one was I represented my school at a Ravi Burns poetry recital.
Yeah, they could all be lies by the sounds of it.
What song did you sing on the X Factor auditions?
I sang Angels by Robbie Williams.
And you made it through.
Just through the auditions.
heard you
yeah,
sing that in the
other
bus.
bit. Yep.
He's got a great voice too, Pete.
Got the crowd going, lighters. Yep. It was when I'd just come through to Glasgow. RV put me in for it. Thought it'd be a laugh, and I went along because I wasn't playing back then very much.
And the audition was in Glasgow?
Yep.
And
Yep.
but you just didn't make it to the live shows?
No,
Sorry, dear.
I know. I couldn't make it. Nah, I didn't make it.
And the Ravi Burns one?
Robbie Burns. You've hurt your finger. It was sir. You've hurt,
Your pinky.
you've hurt your pinky, pair wee man. No, I was right. You've hurt your finger, pair wee man. Your pinky, dearie me.
Oh,
It
that's
wasn't
it,
even
yeah.
Robbie Burns, to be fair. It was just
Yeah, that is
po-
Robbie Burns.
Nah, it's not.
Is it not?
Nah,
Oh.
it was just one that mum and dad used to say to us all the
Oh,
time.
right.
And then Lawn Bowls.
My granny used to take me along, so I'd play a bit of tennis on Saturday morning with mum, and then to make granny happy, I used to go up to the Duffus Bowls competition, or not competition, just the club, and I started playing a fair bit of bowls. I was like a wee old man actually. I had my little grey cords, things that I used to wear, and my wee shoes. Yeah, it was nice.
Christmas jersey.
Yeah, every now and again at Christmas.
I think they might all be true. Either that or you're a really convincing liar.
No, I just the X Factor.
Must be X Factor. Must be.
You just don't want anyone to be a bit better singer than you. That's it. You don't want there to be a better
But,
singer in the
but
club.
Pete's impressive, but I just can't see it. I think he would have gone all the way otherwise. He probably wouldn't be playing professional rugby.
Would you say Pete's the best singer in the club?
No, I wouldn't. He's close though.
Who would you say?
Jack Reed.
No.
You good?
Yeah,
Oh,
Come on,
really
Jack.
good.
Sing for us, Jack.
Yes,
Yeah.
you got
Jack-
to sing
Jack-
now.
Jack's got a great voice.
Just a
Listen
quick
to him.
bit, belt out a wee
Just-
verse.
I would, but
Nah,
Come on, Jack.
come on.
One line.
where's this come from? You've never heard me sing. Who would you say, playing wise? No one wants to hear me sing.
Well, there's a few boys got good voices, so
Jack was
Yeah, shocking.
he is
Otis
terrible.
Redding. Go to.
Pete sings well. Ryan Wilson sings well.
Mm.
Callum Gibbons sings well.
Mm-hmm.
Evidently, Cheese is got
Yeah,
a good
Tom
voice.
Jones,
Yeah,
really good
Cheese.
singer.
For Grant Stewart. Didn't
Surprise
that come out
factor.
of, like that came out of nowhere?
Yeah,
one
you can't
time?
talk, but you can sing.
What was there's a story behind that, isn't there? Was it end of season
It was,
thing?
yeah. I think Swinnell finished up talking, and it kind of just, it just was a bit awkward. No one really said anything.
Sounds about
Don't know
right.
if it was you or
Uh,
someone just shouted cheese, and then we all just started chanting cheese, cheese, cheese. Gets up, belts out Tom Jones. Everyone's loving it, and yeah, legendary.
That was actually going back to one of the highlights of my 150. That would be one. Cheese getting up. He was
It
killing.
was sick.
Yeah, it was
Like,
brilliant.
It was brilliant.
Yeah.
Nobody expected it at all.
No.
Just power voice. Beautiful.
So are we going to say X Factor?
I'm going X Factor.
I'm going X Factor.
Yeah, it was the X Factor.
Oh, that's a shame.
I know. I always wanted to. Yeah. I had that with Kirsten. I used to say all the time that I thought I could get through the auditions.
And would it be Robbie Williams' Angels?
I don't know. I just panicked there. Probably not. Nah. I don't know what I'd sing. Maybe I'd need
Oh.
something that wasn't too high, or too hard, But I would see.
George, have you got pipes on you?
No.
No,
No.
I wasn't.
They're actually not related.
No. He's like a jukebox. He knows all the words, but yeah.
Ashy, we need your 3.
Right, okay, here we go. So, first one, when I was a kid, played golf a lot. My handicap was 6. Second one,
Stop right there, mate.
Figured it out already.
right, next one. I'm trying to make this hard, right?
Aye,
Okay, so, I played football for Celtic under 15s. Okay, third one, when I was 12, I got offered a sponsorship for rollerblading. Used to go to like skate parks and stuff like that and grind and do jumps, backflips. Got offered a sponsorship.
Christ, you're a talented kid.
Every sport under the sun.
Yeah.
I know.
That's the only thing I'm good at.
So what's the first one, mate? Remind me.
Football.
First one was
was good.
golf.
Oh, golf.
Golf.
Yeah. No, I think you did used to. No, I don't know.
We used to play at Alloa.
Alva, just along the road,
Oh.
in the foot of the hills.
George, you're quite into your golf. Have you ever been out?
I've never played with Ashley, but I think I've heard.
Did you not win the club?
You
Aye,
you
the
always are a
bandit,
bandit
yeah.
at the golf day and give yourself like a
Aye.
24 handicap or
I've
something.
got older. I've not played in a few years, so
Yeah, but
Nah, the golf one, I think. I think you're right, Renz. He got
That's
called
not true.
Skinner when he was younger because he's filthy with a football, so I could believe the Celtic one. Trying to think of anything.
The sponsorship deal. Who was it from?
a rollerblading group called Nemesis.
Beautiful.
how did they spot you?
Were you?
Like, what
No,
were you doing?
they were just offering free stuff.
So
It
you
wasn't-
would do lots of flips and things like that?
Back flips, front flips,
Do
360s.
backflips?
No, honestly, you
Rolling.
cannot believe this. I told Elisa, my missus, and she doesn't believe any of it.
Maybe a
It's
wee
like-
mock
He's
shot.
a
was
very tall man to do
Back
forward
flips,
flips and
yeah.
back
It was
flips.
before the days of smartphones, so there's no evidence.
But you say that like I wouldn't think that Xander's like a downhill BMXer, but
Snap the bike.
but he is. Have you seen the videos?
Yeah.
Actually?
Yeah.
Xander's
Really?
like well into his downhill BMX. It's mad.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm
Cool.
I'm gonna poke a hole in the BMX, not BMX. What are we doing?
Rollerblading.
Rollerblading, back flip, front flip story.
You're picking that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree.
I reckon that might be the one.
I'm going for the golf. I don't think you're 6.
Well, it's actually the football one.
Oh, you had trials with another club though.
I played football.
That
but
was-
it wasn't
oh.
Celtic.
Yeah, I was
I
going to
was-
say that as well.
I was well out of the game by that point.
Yeah, because
His brother.
Your brother plays-
Bro plays pro. He's good.
Well, don't know. It's kind of like amateur. East Stirling.
yeah, and you trialed with them.
Mind he scored a
played for
worldie actually. That goal he showed me on.
Oh yeah, the
Aye.
goalie scored from the halfway
Aye.
line. I was lucky. He was trying to cross it in, and it just went a bit further. No, he's decent. He's a steady player.
So if you weren't a rugby player, would you be a golfer or a rollerblader?
Nah, I don't think I'd have made it in either. To be honest, maybe the reason I don't think rollerblading is because I just grew like 6 inches when I got to 15. And I think I'd have been way too tall for it. With the golf, too much competition.
And what about you two? When you're obviously very sporty growing up, and I'd imagine very competitive. What would you have gone into had it not been rugby?
I don't know. I wasn't that great at football. George was alright at football. I was better at tennis, but I wasn't good enough to make it at tennis. I knew that. I was pretty realistic from a young age.
You're better at George at tennis.
Yeah.
No.
At tennis, definitely.
Yeah, you were better at the time because you're like 5, 6 years older. And I was like 12.
He's still never beaten me.
I'm a better tennis player.
Hands down, I can beat George at tennis. Ask it. Yeah.
I believe it's hand-eye coordination stuff you two are good at. Someone told me that. Golf. Decent golfers, eh?
We've got a couple of rackets and
I was about
a
to say
couple of balls
this
are
is
sorted out
something.
now.
This is something we should going forward. We should get this sorted.
Table tennis is pretty evens as well. Golf, George's got the upper hand. I'd give you golf, but tennis, definitely. Yeah.
He's not having it. Like he's
Nah.
shaking his head there.
I think, no, I don't know. It'd be interesting.
When Pete was 10 and George was 5, Pete used to dominate.
Yeah, exactly. He's remembering the times when I was 10 years old.
No, that was wrestling. I used to dominate you at that.
What
When
about
I
now?
made you tap out with the crippler cross face.
That's a figment of your imagination.
That happened.
Definitely.
Yeah, that happened. Made him
Yeah.
tap out.
You've made that up.
There's lots of brothers out there listening to this saying, I remember all this.
Yeah, exactly. Relating to this.
We had some great time. We got a trampoline actually. Mum and Dad got us a trampoline. We used to wrestle on that all the time. We got the speaker and we used to play the entrance music of like the wrestlers, and we'd run into the ring, and then we'd like it was funny.
So did you watch all the WWE stuff?
Oh, we used to love
we
it back
loved
in the glory days.
Who are your favourite wrestlers?
I used to like Triple H, but I used to we loved like Mick Foley when he was, because he was a badass when he was Mankind and Cactus Jack.
I like Jeff Hardy because he was a nutter as well, and
Yeah.
was a little guy.
And the Dudleys were good. There used to be some great TLC matches actually between the Hardys. Honestly, that's entertainment.
We know.
If you ever want to,
Edge and Christian.
I actually
the
watched that
Dudleys.
about 6 months ago on an away trip. I was like, who was I trying to convince that wrestling used to be cool? And we put it on in 20 minutes of just pure entertainment.
Yeah.
Still, yeah.
Because I remember when JBL came in.
Ah, that was
And
it.
you were like a kid
I
at
was
Christmas.
buzzing,
You were
yeah.
up the
Farouk
front
and
every
Bradshaw.
time.
He was
Yeah.
part. Yeah.
He was better
The
when he was in the
Acolytes,
Acolytes.
yeah.
Him and Farouk. Yeah, they were the boys.
Dave, if the Glasgow Warriors coaching staff had a kind of Royal Rumble wrestling showdown, who would come out on top?
Pump.
Oh, yeah. Pump, because he's got 4 red cards when he was playing, so he'd be the dirtiest, and he'd do all sorts of tricks.
So just for reference, Pump is John Manson, our team manager. Supporters will know him from his the glowing orb on the side of the pitch on a game. But you think he'd come out on top?
Yeah, well, he's a bit angry at the moment because when we played Scarlets, the Scarlets manager got on live TV with about 10 minutes to go in the game, and he's a bit gutted that he hasn't had that opportunity. So he'd actually love to be here tonight, I'd imagine.
He's never coming on this. Can you imagine?
He's the only one that takes a mic into team meetings. Yeah, remember
Yeah,
the
why
other
did
day?
he do that?
That was weird.
I think there'd be lots of beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, there'd be
If
lots of swearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Mike Blair would fancy himself to win, though.
No chance.
No, but he would.
Not
He'd
a
fancy
chance.
himself.
He'd fancy himself to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
John Humphreys would fancy himself as well, but I wouldn't pick either of those guys.
So who do you pick?
Well, I'd pick Pump because he's the dirtiest. You know, he would low blows. He'd do whatever it takes.
Big Vader. Yeah.
So did you play any other sports growing up, or was it just rugby in New Zealand? Is that all you were?
No, I played heaps of sport. I mean, the weather's reasonable over there, so I know we played all sorts. Basketball, played a lot of touch, played cricket, played softball. So, but yeah, obviously rugby was the main one. Played a lot of league as a kid, and then when I went to college, the principal told me I wasn't allowed to play league anymore. I had to play rugby for the school, so that's how I got involved in rugby.
Sorry, go ahead.
You must have played a bit of tennis as well. You love scalping balls.
Yeah, and I
that,
played a
so-
lot of tennis as a young fella, a lot of badminton. So, oh no, we played heaps of sport. We had a very sporty family. Mum was, she's a pretty impressive athlete and that sort of thing. So she got us involved in lots.
Do you think it'll be a different feeling for you, Pete, with this 150, or are you quite good at kind of putting sentiment to one side?
Yeah, no, I think I've been decent in the past. You kind of always look at it. You've got a job to do. You know, the occasion that's for mum, dad, Kirsten, and the family, and something that we'll reflect back on. But in the league leading up to the game, it's purely focused on putting out a good performance and
And then Ashley, back up there, a couple of tries for yourself.
Don't know. I think I've got my tries for the next 3 years. I don't know. We'll see. If the luck continues, it continues. But
If selected.
if selected, of course, we're forgetting that.
Well, you named the team this morning, but I wasn't allowed to name it because I've named it once before, and it was before Saracens, which is the game we lost. I didn't know you were so
Superstitious?
superstitious.
I'm not really superstitious, Jack. I just didn't want you to name the team.
Are you superstitious about anything? Are any of the boys in the squad superstitious?
I'm not superstitious at all.
Just in and. Do you have
I always salute a magpie if I see one on its own. I don't know. Yeah, it's just something we've always done.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
yeah, got a few little things I do.
What do you do?
Oh, I wouldn't say it's a bit weird.
Tell
I
us.
used to
They're just
have
not
actually
weird,
OCD when he was younger, a wee bit. Yeah.
Thanks for that.
I used to be like real clean freak. That was it. Yeah,
Yeah.
like cleanliness and touching door handles and things I'd like cover up and
You wouldn't like doing
yeah,
that?
Yeah.
just weird. That's not what I mean now. I don't do that now.
Flick the light switch 12 times or I was going to die. Stuff like that. Weird
Really?
stuff.
That's impressive
I don't know
stuff.
about that.
Just as we've got the hand sanitizer at Scotland.
Yeah, that's it. That was me that got that brought in. I was on it, Johnny Hansen.
Dave, do you have anything? Or were you ever? Or did
You have
ever-
got one thing.
Bloody good team.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yeah, no, I make a comment after we announced the team. I normally say bloody good team. There's only once I hadn't said it this year, and it was prior to the Kings game, and we were woeful. So normally the team gets announced, and it's quiet, and most people look over at me waiting for me to say that before we get up and leave the room. So hopefully that continues to be reasonable luck for us.
Well, hopefully we can continue our good form with the win over Edinburgh. There's going to be no Warriors Weekly the next couple of weeks, as much as will be missed. Christmas Day and Hogmanay are more important. So, guys, thank you so much for coming on for this Christmas special. George, congratulations again on the new contract.
Thank you.
Pete, congratulations on the 150 and the new family.
Thank you.
Dave, congratulations on your wallet.
Thank you.
How long have you been lining that up for?
Yeah, a while. I'm not going to jot it down on my phone. And thanks everyone for listening. We hope that you all have a wonderful festive period, and we'll be back in the new year with hopefully a review over a couple of good wins over Edinburgh, and looking forward to an exciting Treviso away game.